to one of those M5 labels where you put the names on the faces?
We're gonna have to do that later. I didn't even try. I just found something I seen on Google. We rolled with that. But we live now. What up, everybody? We don't got no viewers right now, but uh, M5 edition of season one, The Wire discussion. We'll only be discussing season one of The Wire, so he spoilers to nothing when it comes to outside of season one. Um, I think the first place I wanna go is talking to Key, since this is his Key. You are brand new to The Wire, right?
Brand. When I was in high school, I watched the compilations on YouTube of the best quotes.
Okay.
But the story, like how it actually goes, no idea at all. Super fresh.
Okay. So yeah, you would probably be like the newest to The Wire here. And Perry, did I just hear gunshots? What the fuck? I
Probably
might have.
fireworks.
Shoot, I don't know. I don't know. But Perry, was it your first time watching The Wire too?
Yeah, I've seen you guys talk about the Wire, and then a lot of people talk about Wire, but I was like, I'll probably never watch it. Then one day I just sat down and said, let me watch the Wire, see how great.
Okay. So this is probably my third time watching The Wire. I think the
Mm.
very first time I watched it, I don't think I was like really in tune with it. Not that I didn't like it. It's just that I wasn't paying attention to it heavily. Second time, that's when I like regarded it as like one of the best television shows I've watched. At that time, the only thing I had up there was Breaking Bad, which is still up there for me, and Game of Thrones, which that fell off completely for me. But I think after it's all said and done, after I get another rewatch of Breaking Bad, I feel like The Wire is going to be my favorite television show. I could say that right now, but I have to get a rewatch of Breaking Bad. I have to.
Have you seen The Sopranos?
I haven't
I
heard
heard
about it.
that's up in the top five of Breaking Bad on the Wire, so I might watch that next.
I heard that too. I have to watch. I heard the ending was bad, but I have to see if that will really deter my feelings on it with stuff beforehand. I didn't even notice Morgan was in here, but Morgan,
Yeah, I just joined.
what was your first, well, not first experience, but is this your first time experiencing The Wire?
Yeah, I only watched it once.
Okay.
Straight through too.
Okay. So season one ended with the arrest of Avon, basically a bunch of the Barksdale organization, with the exception of Stringer and some of the people he still had under him. I want to know who left the biggest impression on y'all as a character. The one character that you left season one thinking like, okay, this is probably going to be my favorite character.
Mm,
I got mine. Avon. You already know.
Stop.
I gotta give it
It is.
to I gotta give it to Omar and D'Angelo close second.
D'Angelo's a good pick.
I'm a
Uh,
D'Angelo hater, so I won't chime in on that. But
I think for me, I remember I was telling Satsuki when I first started watching it, it was Lester because he was just cool in the back getting shit done. Anytime
Yeah.
they need something done, Lester was getting shit done. I think him and D'Angelo were like my two favorite characters. The first,
Mm.
I didn't know you like D'Angelo like that.
yeah, D'Angelo, because it was so crazy because it was like for me, D'Angelo was like, damn, he came off the towers and he was back on the street level shit. He had a
Mhm.
kind of like I felt that and he was trying to school the kids about how the game really works, especially
Mm.
Wallace. He was trying to look out for him and stuff.
I got Daniels up there too.
Yeah, Daniels was really. I didn't expect to like Daniels as much as I did. The first time I watched it, I swear I did not like Daniels, but this time the rewatch, I love Daniels. Um, I want to talk about D'Angelo though. I want to hear Morgan's thoughts on D'Angelo, mostly for why he doesn't really like him like that.
I mean, we talked about it before, how he was soft on the game, and then, it's spoilers for the next season too. But nah, man, he said he wasn't built for the game, so just get him out of here. And you say you love characters like that are in the game and they don't want to be in the game and all that, but I don't know. He just didn't seem like a good fit.
Yeah, I like D'Angelo because I felt like I don't want to say out of the whole cast, but when it came to the street level, when we were getting the people who were working the corners in the Barksdale organization, he felt like the most human because the reason why he was there in the first place because he was literally born in it. Now, it wasn't something that he was recruited or anything like that. He was literally born in it. His family has been in this business. So it was just a matter of him picking it up, as a result of his birth and the environment he was raised in. So he was never really a fit for that organization, but he got the power that he had because of his connection to Avon, him being his nephew. And it felt like he always wanted a way out of it. And I like what Key was saying, with him schooling the kids. Like, I think one of the best moments, a real good moment, was when he was talking about the chess pieces. And he was saying, basically what they do, how they move. But the real thing that I liked from that was when he was talking about the pawns. He was saying, the pawns are the ones that go out first. And Bodie brings up the point of, if they make it to the other side, because if the pawns make it to the other side of the board, you can upgrade it to a queen, rook, bishop. It doesn't matter. But D'Angelo's point was the pawns just don't make it there. You just don't. Which is if you're playing a competent chess player, you're not going to upgrade your pawn to anything. So yeah. The whole point was pawns just don't make it. If you're born, it's kind of like you're kind of born with power, or at least with like a limit. And if you're a pawn, that's it. You may be able to do some good things as a pawn, but you're not going to do much.
But D'Angelo could have became king though. He could have became Avon's successor or something. Stringer would have left by then.
Man, D'Angelo is not cut out for that.
Yeah, remember when D'Angelo used to say, go ahead, Morgan.
I was saying, you said he was the most human. You don't remember Poop? That was the most human character.
We're not going to get into Pooh because that's spoiler stuff.
Hold on, he wasn't in the first season?
No. But I'm saying like where he ended up.
Oh, no. Well, still. That's my boy. Him and Avon. We got to make sure that's right.
Season 1 Pooh? Like, really? I don't know about all that.
The development, man. I'm sorry.
Pooh's Wallace's friend?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The one with the bad hairline.
Bad hairline. He was clean.
Come on, fresh. Bro. You can be fresh and have a bad hairline.
He's probably like 30 years old playing a 16-year-old.
He's not, Key.
What?
He just had a bad hairline, bro.
Dang, that's funny as hell.
Man, y'all hating, man.
That dude is funny. I remember the phone sex scene.
Yeah. Oh, you said who made a big impact. Y'all didn't like when Avon was McNulty and who was it? Daniels was chasing him. Yeah. He just rides by with the car and does the finger wave. So that's when he became top one.
I can't lie, that was nice.
That was his only feat in season 1.
Man, you said he's feetless. He run the whole organization.
We're gonna have this conversation, Key, because like, bro, I can't lie. Anytime Key brings up Avon in any capacity, whether it's praise, slander, whatever, I just get pissed off because I feel like Key just don't give him his credit.
Dude.
Yeah.
You guys gotta explain to me then. I'm here to learn.
Key, the fact that like, bro, regardless of what you see on screen, the fact that he has his organization is telling. Because we don't get to see how he built up this organization, but look at the amount of clout and respect Avon has. I won't get too into it because that
spoilers.
Yeah, that's spoilers. But
Let me tell you how I feel.
All right.
I hear you. It's not that I don't respect Avon. Like I think he's as a drug dealer, as a kingpin, I think he's great at it. I'm talking about how I feel about him when I watch the show. I don't see his feet, so I can't connect to him like that. I can't give him in season respect because I'm seeing him at the top right now. I didn't see his climb, which is why in season 2 now I'm enjoying it so much because I actually see him doing shit in the prison.
I was about to say he got that lore, but you don't care about that, right?
I mean, do you like Shanks?
Did you respect Jihad in Tower of God?
Yeah, but I didn't see any feet.
Exactly. He got everything built under him, the 10 families, all that. You gotta respect it. Not even if we didn't see anything yet.
But he's not one of my favorite characters because I don't see him doing shit. That's what I'm
no, I ain't saying Avon gotta be your favorite.
Yeah. For me, I think because when I finish the seasons, I give my top 5 characters for that season. Number 1, I had Omar because he left a big impression on me first season. Number 2, I had D'Angelo. Number 3, I had Daniels. Number 4, I had Avon. So I didn't have number 5, I had Lester. But so I didn't have Avon that high because of what you were saying, Key. He wasn't really. We already seen him at his peak. We seen him at the pinnacle. So that does affect you some way because in general we like to see characters build up and grow into something rather than seeing them already at their best. So the fact that we seen Avon already have this organization built up and whatnot, that it does affect how we feel about him as a character. But I still think just seeing his influence and seeing how much power he had and how, like, for me,
he got it too.
Yeah. But for me, what really stood out to me about Avon, and this applies to Stringer too, is just that he does not have his name on anything that he has.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
He is very smart. Yes. Clean. Yeah, the only way they got a picture of this dude was like sifting through and getting this boxing thing of him.
Yeah, the old boxing pick.
Imagine if they didn't find that.
They would have been screwed.
Yeah. Dang, mysterious, man. Gotta be top 1.
Yeah. Definitely has a lore, I feel. But this is another thing too. Let me give him some credit before I say the next thing though. I do like how much respect he had coming in. Like you said, like his record was super clean. Like he's highly respected. Like everybody knows him, but the police have no idea who he is at the same time when he's running like this multi-million-dollar operation, right? But then what I also feel is like, I feel like Stringer was doing most of the strategy, and like when things would happen, Stringer would be the one reacting instead of Avon. It almost seemed like he was pulling the strings, and Avon was kind of just like listening to his advice. Which, like in some situations, I can see why. Like if you're the top dog, like you have like your right hand doing all the work around you. But that's the thing, like I expected in the drug game not to see like a king in the sense like, oh, this is like in Game of Thrones where the king is kind of just like a figurehead. That's what I felt like Avon was in season 1. He was more just like there, and Stringer was the one doing the strategy, like the queening, so to speak, if we bring it back to the chess analogy.
Yeah, I was going to say that too. I think they were being accurate to the chess analogy and the fact that Avon was a person who wasn't going to be actively doing the things out there, and that's the thing I like about it too, is he's not hands-on when it comes to that. He can be, just as a king can be in chess, but for the most part, Stringer is the one that's putting himself out there, talking to other people and making deals and whatnot. So I don't know. I think it's just a perspective thing. Like I get what you're saying though, because like he's not a person, at least in season 1, he's not making the moves. He is taking advice from Stringer, and Stringer is doing a lot of the things, pulling the strings, as his name implies. But I think that's just because of how the Barksdale organization is set up, with him not touching anything, him not being involved in anything. So if they do get popped or anything like that, he can say that wasn't me. Like I ain't have nothing to do with it.
That's true, and he's so far from it that means that shit can keep running
Yep.
because he can find another string. But I think like the connections he has too is something that I should take into account. Like all the stuff he's built up over the years, even though we didn't get to see it or it wasn't talked about in season one, still there.
For sure.
Mm. He owns like dozens of properties, they said. And the strategy that he had too was dope. Like how they said that he bribed the politicians to get information on where housing developments would be. So he bought businesses around those areas so he could capitalize like 5-10 years in advance when they go up. That was dope. He probably did that on his own.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's one thing about season one that I liked about Stringer is like I don't know, have we seen Stringer in class in season one? Okay, so oh yeah. So that's why one thing I like about Stringer in season one, because you see he's like I like the street shit is okay, but he actually trying to like build an empire. Like he like in taking this learn the business, applying it to his soldiers. Like he trying to like knowledge to everybody, tell them how to do business, make more money. And I guess that's why he's more like on operations, while Avon's in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, yeah. Stringer was the one in charge, but I mean, not the charge, but handling all the strategies and stuff. Yeah. But hold on, did that happen at the end of the season? Remember, Satsuki, we were talking about they got Avon, but they left Stringer.
Yeah, that happened in season one.
How would you feel that happened to Yuki? You see your right hand man, right? They lock you up, but they leave him out in the open. You being suspicious of him?
If I was Avon, no,
Yeah.
I don't. I think in this case, it's different because I think the bond that Avon and Stringer have is really, really powerful. I think the trust there runs very deep. So I think like maybe Stringer even told him that this might happen. Like they might have seen this coming.
Yeah, I was saying that too. I was like, he got too much trust in him.
Yeah.
Not too much like in a bad way, just like they're that close.
Yeah. I wonder how far back they go.
Oh, prequel.
The Wire prequel. I'm not sure if I want that. I mean, but that's the thing about The Wire though. Like with the stories they already built, they could do a prequel literally any any character, and it would be interesting. They could do one with Bunk. That would be interesting. Even Herc would be interesting. It wouldn't be like as interesting as other characters, but I still think it would be enjoyable. Like you could do something with Omar, how he came to be, basically like this vigilante and whatnot. And I want to talk about Omar too because Key, how did you feel? Because we talked about it a little bit, but I want to get this on live. But how did you feel about him being openly gay?
So yeah, like we talked about, I knew he was gay because my friends had told me from before. So when I look at the date of the show, right, like it's 2002 when season one dropped. That's a long ass time ago. That's way before gay people start getting respected in media. So I don't even remember seeing a man kissing a man on TV until way past 2002. So if I had watched this back then, I'd have been shocked. I'm interested to see like how it have felt back then versus now that I'm watching it in this time where this is kind of the norm on TV. But like I told you, like I really liked how they how fast it was introduced. Like when I'd heard that fuck, what's his name? When I heard Omar is gay, I thought this would have been like, yo, episode 10, like something's revealed, and then it's like this at the end of the episode you find out he's gay, and then it's gonna be like another episode where they're like trying to wrap their heads around it, or the Avon's gang is kind of like using that against Omar, some shit like that. But no, like it wasn't a thing at all. Like people did have disgust on their face, but it just wasn't made a big deal out of it. It's just like a part of his character. Like you'd see him, it would influence his motives, which is also interesting to see. Like his motives for the way that he did stuff during the season was because his partner died.
Yeah. I
think that was a good scene.
Yeah, I think the good part about that whole thing is that it was casual. It wasn't like he said, it wasn't made like a big deal or anything like that. It was just that that's who Omar was. Of course, the whole homophobia thing kicked in where, like, you know, Avon said it was like, oh, he gay? Hey, double up on that nigga. So, and I think even in that sense, it was realistic to the fact that people were homophobic and whatnot. But again, it wasn't made a case to where it was something that at the series, and like he said, for the time, the series didn't even feel like it was revolutionary. They even have a character like Kima, who she's lesbian, and that's not really a big deal either. It's just matter of fact, she's lesbian. That's just how it is. And I think the fact that the series doesn't bring too much attention to it, they don't like really hone on it, is a good thing, because it's just like it's normal.
They dropped They dropped the reveal in episode 2.
Yeah.
I had a similar experience with Omar because when I first got into Wire, I heard like Satsuki and Morgan talk about Omar, so I thought Omar was gonna be like Avon, and then I was going through like the first 5 episodes. I'm like, wait, where Omar at? The Omar supposed to be like this goat character who's supposed to show up, and he showed up and he's robbing people like a Robin Hood. I said, okay, Omar the goat, and then him being president too, because just like what Keith said, in 2003, I was kind of shocked, like what? In 2003 they were showing a gay person, and then in a good light, and they're into like, you know, the stereotypical gay actions they be trying to do with some gay characters. I was surprised.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to find out like the impact that a character like Omar has on public's opinion on gay people overall, because it's like he's like, look at this picture I was posting in Mid TV. Like he's like I said, like he's a fucking ghetto Batman. He's like the daytime boogeyman and this shit. This dude is, and I remember my friend told me like even Obama really likes Omar's character, and it's like, yo, everybody likes this dude, and then on the same hand, he has part of his character is this thing that's hated by society at the time, the homophobia, and so I wonder like what impact that had on how people saw them.
Yeah,
he's cool, man.
He's definitely like a fan favorite. Like if we were to take a poll on who's everybody's favorite character, I think Omar would win easily. Easily.
Yeah, he would, because he's such a goody.
Omar coming.
Yeah, it's like he has a lot of things going for him. He's unique as a character. He has the whole portrayal. Like what he was saying, people literally shout Omar's coming when he's walking around. He totes around a shotgun in broad day with with this trench coat, and like he has quotes too. You come at the king, you best not miss. One of the most iconic quotes in The Wire. He just,
it's okay.
What? I ain't never put my gun on nobody who wasn't in the game. Omar is so fucking good.
Man, you got a code, man. A man gotta have a code.
For sure.
Yo, that when he was pulling up, who was the dude that he shot first? Like when he shot Weebay?
Stinkum.
Stinkum. When he was, after he killed Stinkum, I was looking for Weebay. Man's out there whistling. Good. Just feeds upon feeds, man. One thing I found interesting.
Listening to feet, man. Alright.
One thing I found interesting about Omar too is how he was a snitch. How you guys feel about that? Like he was snitching like nothing.
Yeah, he was.
Well, it was funny because when McNulty first came to him, he was like, "Man, ain't no snitch." And then when when Brandon got killed, he was like, "Alright, shit, let's fuck these niggas up."
Yeah, I think Omar is an anomaly in the game in the fact that he plays by his own rules. Because in the game, at least from what Avon showed us, there is no real rules to it. He does have a code to the fact that, you know, he feels like family is first. He has like a sense of community. But at the same time, even if you aren't in the game, we seen from episode 1 or maybe 2, he killed a witness who wasn't in the game. So from his point of perspective, there is no rules to it. But Omar has his own set rules in place. So he is an entity that does play outside of the quote unquote game. And you know, the way he just moves, it shows us that. So when we talking about Omar, you got to talk about just what he does himself, because you can't like relate it to anybody else in the series, because he works differently from everybody.
I like the relationships that the detectives have with the CIs too. Like how Kima runs with Bobs, how Omar is with everybody. The interactions that they have are always funny.
Yeah.
I want that to segue into another point, like the competency and the lack thereof of the police department. How do you guys feel about the police in general in The Wire? Like, do you feel
Well,
good about them? Bad? What?
okay, so with my experience, I started watching The Wire as soon as like the George Ford's death got escalated and police versus the people got high. So watching The Wire, seeing like the corrupt stuff the police was doing, yeah, I felt the type of way like, damn man, it really like that. They really had each other back, and they don't really like covered their crimes up just to protect one of their own. And like as a viewer, you can like respect it, but you like, dang, us at that table, that could be me. Like, that could
Yeah.
be somebody you know, so by the system.
Yeah, we're getting beat up.
Yeah.
I felt it a lot when Carver and Lester is his name.
Oh, you mean
Car-
Carver, Herc, and Press when he was beating that black kid
Prespaluski?
up?
yeah, like when they made the kid blind and they were just literally sitting outside under a bridge at 2 in the morning, bored. They're like, "Yo, let's go fuck some niggas up."
Hmm.
Yeah, basically.
And then you see it when like Daniel's walking to Press and said, "You feared for your life. You seen bottles coming. You feared for your life, so you had to retaliate with your gun." And they was giving a whole
Hmm.
story just
Hmm.
to cover it
Yeah,
up. Like,
that story
damn.
was tight too, man. Airtight. Damn,
Yeah.
Daniels was in it too, man.
Yeah, I think that's what I like about Daniels though, is that he plays both sides, and the fact that he isn't ignorant to what the politics of the police, what it is, because he was handicapped a lot with Burrell, and at the same time he had to manage the ego of McNulty, so he had to play both sides, and that he was limited in what he could do, but at the same time he had to ride out and go against authority to gain the respect of his subordinates like Minotti, Kima, all of them, Herc, Carver, Lester, Prespaluski.
Yeah,
So he was just like a good balance of that, because he was the in between. He was the boss
definitely.
that you could go to for help, but at the same
Yeah.
time, he had his own boss.
Yeah, I think Daniel, the way you're putting it makes me realize that Daniels is one of the best examples of, I guess, like genuine leadership and the problems that come along with it that I've seen in anything I've seen before. I think because he also he's like a career man, like he's trying to go up in rank.
Yeah.
So like his wife looks like she's in a great position in her career. Like she looks like she's the one leading the household, and so I don't know what she did. They kind of keep that vague, but and at the same time, like him as a man now, like trying to like make his way up, like he wants to be major. He has to put that aside because he doesn't want to conflict with his integrity too. Like to bring it back to your original question, like how do you feel about the police? Like there's like a divide here, There's like the good cops on one end, kind of good, like they have a good at the end of the day they have good morals and they want the criminals to get caught
Yeah.
for various reasons. But then you have the other cops like Burrell, who are mostly just interested in climbing a rank and will do anything they need to do. Like fuck the justice system. Fuck, I'll go around I'll cut corners. I'll cheat. I'll don't care about the community really. I just want to make sure that I have enough numbers so I can keep advancing. I guess Rawls to some extent is like that too. So
Hmm.
it's interesting to see like the tug of war between these two groups of people, and it's heartbreaking sometimes. It's like the what's keeping them from solving these cases to the best way that they can is the selfish or greedy goals of their superiors, which is crazy. Like I don't think I've ever seen something like that before, but it's so real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody has to play the game. I want to read some of the comments too. Tyler said Omar only snitch if people go too far against him. He will use all the tools to get you, including the police, which is true. He doesn't initially go to the police. It only gets to a point where he feels like that's the best way to get at him.
Okay, I'm about to say, if he's saying what he say? That's what he used to get you at all costs. If he goes too far, man, you out here robbing people. You just like them.
No.
Robbing him, man.
When it
Robbing the bed and getting him.
When it came to Brandon, I think if they would have just killed Brandon straight up, I don't think he would have I don't even think he would have went to the police. But it's the fact that they tortured him and they put him on display so that everybody could see it. I think that was the issue that Omar had specifically.
That was messed up.
Yeah. That's my guy Wallace. You seen that whole thing?
Wallace.
What the fuck? I love that. We're gonna get to that scene, but I want to read some of the comments. Chibi Spears said, "I wonder if a show like this could make a resurge due to recent events." Tyler said, "Baltimore was very notorious for police corruption, made LA look like nothing. It was crazy." Chibi said, "Well, I say recently as if there's anything new. To be honest, the rate of violence downhill has overall decreased in this country, but people are bothered by it now more than decades prior. I mean, in the sense that we are able to recognize the flaws more and more over time and call them out. In the past, injustice was more accepted as norm." Yeah, I agree with that. It's the fact that it's being highlighted and it's being put on the microscope that more people can see it and more people can speak out. And in general, with social media, people have the venue to speak out without necessarily being on like radio or news or anything like that. Everybody can speak out now. It's something that everybody has access to. So it feels like the voice is a lot louder than it was in the past.
I need to get praised for it too.
Yeah. But where was I gonna go at? Where was the
Wallace.
next
We're
point?
talking about Wallace.
Yeah, Wallace. That was probably, I don't know if it's my favorite scene in season 1, but I love that scene. Where the fuck is Wallace?
Was in the prison, right?
Yeah.
Where Wallace at, man? Where Wallace at?
Where the fuck is Wallace? And the reason why that shit was so significant is because before that, D'Angelo was telling Wallace, you know, he needs to get out of this. Like, if you have an option, leave. If you want to go to school, do that. And I feel like Wallace was an extension of D'Angelo in the sense that he was, I don't want to say like a younger D'Angelo, but D'Angelo saw himself in Wallace in the fact that he saw that he wasn't necessarily built for this, like a Avon, like a Stringer, like a Bodie. He didn't see them. He didn't see Wallace as that. So he said, if you have the option, leave. And when he did have that option, he didn't leave. And when D'Angelo got popped and he asked the question, the Stringer, where the fuck is Wallace? That shit had a lot of significance because, again, I feel like Wallace was a mini version of D'Angelo in some sense, in that he was a person that could have escaped from the game, but because he was kind of molded in it, like he left to go with his grandma out in the country, but he came back. Why? He came back after he snitched. While it seems very stupid, why did he come back? He came back because that's all he knows. That's all he knows. He doesn't know anything different. All he knows is how to sell drugs.
I also think that like that whole Wallace and D'Angelo connection really hit home when you see, like, I don't know if it happened before or after Wallace got killed, but it was when like Weebay was taking D'Angelo out for a drive, and D'Angelo was like the whole time like hesitating. He thought he was gonna kill him too.
Yeah.
And I feel like he felt like that was a turning point where he felt like, yo man, he might kill me next. You know, No one said they got Wallace. Shit, I'm next.
Yeah, you're right.
I didn't think about that.
You're right. And the telltale sign of that is when Weebay killed Little Man. We didn't see it, but Stringer said, "Hey, he said Little Man weak like that. Little Man gotta go." Little Man, and he didn't. And really, when you look at that the context of that situation, Little Man didn't do anything wrong. It's not like he knew Kima was a cop. He didn't know that. Yeah. He just went and shot like he was instructed to do. So if he got killed for something that he was instructed to do, what would they do with D'Angelo, who was thinking about snitching?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's heavy because I'm thinking about the Wallace shit again. You're making me, when you draw that comparison between him and D, it's like, yo, Wallace is at this point in his life where he could take a path that could get him out of the game. That's like something D'Angelo would love to have, and he cares about Wallace. He gave him money when he wanted him to go back to school. He, just give him advice. They spent so much time together out on that couch, just talking and trying to put him in the right direction, and seeing him grow and seeing him evolve, seeing him become like a better drug dealer, seeing him interacting with the little kids in his apartment, buying food for them and sending them to school and giving them chips. Like, and he's not even related to those kids, is what I realized. Like, a new kid would show up and Wallace would just take care of him.
Yeah, he was taking care of the little hoppers and whatnot.
And then Wallace gets, like, he's 16 years old and they killed him. And like, to see that picture of him like shot up by his own homies, like, yo, where Wallace at? I felt it, man.
Yeah.
And I told you too, I never liked Michael B. Jordan till this.
This is a standout role.
Yeah, it's probably his first one.
Oh, damn. You got anything to say there, Morgan? Because I was going to bring up another point.
Nah, you go ahead.
I was going to bring up one of the scenes where, and this is what I like about The Wire. I think all shows do this, but The Wire, it hits more so because it feels real when they say it, and then it relates to something else. Like there's parallels, or it's foresight, what's going to happen. But D'Angelo and Wallace had this seemingly stupid conversation about chicken nuggets, literally about chicken nuggets. Wallace, he was eating them. He was like, man, the person who made these got to be rich. D'Angelo was like, nah, the person who made that is probably slaving away. And he's probably getting exploited by somebody else. And, while it doesn't really relate to them necessarily, it relates to like a bigger picture of like how people just like you can kind of relate that to the police thing. Daniels and his unit are doing the good work. They're doing real police work and they're taking down real criminals, but they're being exploited by the people above them because they take the credit, they get the promotions. They're the ones that get to use them in a way they see fit, and they steer everything.
Right.
But they do the bulk of the work, and I think that was the main point of it. Is that you can do the bulk of the work, you can be the progenitor or whatever, but the people who are already in power, they ultimately got to say so. So
you're right.
That's how it is.
He even said like the nigga who came up with this idea, like he's in a basement slaving away, and that's literally what Daniel's unit was doing. They're in a basement,
literally
something like that. Yeah.
Yep.
That's rough. But like it makes me think of too when D would say shit like, how can these people running these businesses like McDonald's, like how can they get away with the same kind of shit that we're doing in the game, but they don't have people dying? That stood out to me a lot too. Like D wanted the game to, I don't know if he wanted it to, but he was thinking like, yo, it doesn't have to be this way. Like we can still sell drugs, make a lot of money, but we don't have to be killing people. We don't have to be ruining lives and breaking up families.
Bro, key. And you have no idea how that relates to something later. No idea. It relates to something bigger later. I won't say where it happens, but it relates to something bigger. Yeah. That's why I think like The Wire has genius writing. And the fact that, again, stuff like that in the conversation they have feel genuine. They don't feel like somebody's reading off a script or anything like that to give you foreshadowing or anything like that. No, it feels like these people are having a genuine conversation and it relates to something bigger once we get to it. Go ahead.
I like also like I think what I like about it a lot when you made me think of it when you said like people they're having a real conversation. Like it I don't know if you said this around my friends from home. They're like it's giving you like a window into their daily lives. Like they even the casting is brilliant too. It's like I heard that they casted for some of the drug addicts that you'd see, they'd cast real drug addicts to play small roles.
Yeah.
The people that they pick, like the police officers, like they're not picking like people who are amazingly attractive, have great bodies, you know, like people just look like real people. Like if you go into a Baltimore Police Department, these are the kind of people you'd probably see, like probably like in their late 40s, 50s, overweight, just looking normal, like in ragged clothes, like not dressed properly, just not looking super sharp. And right throughout the show, like you'll see it just like you said, the way they talk, it feels real.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite aspects of The Wire, just the dialogue, because it feels genuine and it just relates to me as a black person, because even though I wasn't raised in no drug culture or anything like that, I can see these conversations being had by niggas just from, you know, the people I talked about in my neighborhood and whatnot. I want to talk about two characters, Herc and Carver. How do you guys feel about them niggas? Cause all right,
go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was about to say, out of the cops, they the worst ones. The cop team. McNulty, even though McNulty, season 1, McNulty wasn't that bad. He was still adamant though. But those two,
probably like the top 2 cop in the show. Like I feel like McNulty's like consistently top 2 cop in the show. Shit, hell, he might be top 1.
No, stop it.
Yeah, it's Herc and Carver. They're like, I don't know how to describe them. They like the 2 idiots at the bottom who just do like they like meatheads, like the meathead show.
Literally meatheads.
Exactly right.
Literally,
somebody that kind of cop had to be represented too. So I'm glad that they showed them.
Yeah. I do believe those cops exist where they just literally just want to beat niggas' asses and then take names and shit like that. So
I'm surprised that. Yeah, go ahead, finish up.
I was gonna say they represent that side, but like Perry's saying, I felt like there was comic relief in a sense, but I do think what The Wire did was I don't think anybody is a one-note character, maybe with the exception of like one particular character later on, but I don't think anybody has no depth to them at all. I believe that even with Herc and Carver, seeing where their characters go to later, they have relevance, and like you can kind of I'm not going to spoil anything, but how they started off and how they end off when The Wire is all said and done is a telltale of something else. I won't get into the specifics of it, but even their characters, while they may seem like comic relief, are very significant in the long run.
I feel it. I was surprised so at first when they found the money on eBay and they got off him, then they had that problem where they lost like 5,000 of it because it fell in the wheel well of the car.
Yeah.
And then like they seem like they're scrambling, like then they seem really stressed out because they don't want to get into trouble, and they're like, yo, if you're gonna steal, like why didn't you tell me, blah blah blah, and then they ended up giving the money back. I was surprised that in the last episode of season 1 they ended up stealing some money from the drug bust. I was surprised to see that.
Reason why I'm not surprised they did, well, I wasn't surprised given their characters, but I do think the first time when they lost the money, I felt like that was tragic because they knew they were going to be looked at in a certain way just because of how they are. They knew who they were. They're self-aware of their own characters. now. Because Daniels, like, had it been like McNulty or something, I think Daniels would have, maybe he wouldn't have been like as adamant as he was with Carver, to think that, because Daniels definitely thought they just tried to steal the money. He was just like, make sure y'all bring it back. He thought that they stole it. He was just like, make sure y'all bring it back. But maybe with like, if it happened with McNulty, he would have believed in McNulty a little more, because I don't think Daniels would have thought that McNulty is a person to steal money like that. But it was just sad because they knew who they were, and given their position, if they would have lost that money, they would have been out of there.
Yeah. Go ahead, Barry.
I was just saying, I also like Herc and Carver's like interaction with Bodie. Like they, every time I see Bodie, like cartoon shit. They're like, "Oh, you out of jail again? We got to beat your ass again. Can't bring you back."
Bro, they relationship with Bodie was funny, bro.
Yeah, it's hilarious. I loved it. I remember when they beat him down, and they find out that he actually didn't, that he got out, like he had a note proving why he should be released or some shit. And then they're like, "Yo, you wanna give me a ride back to my grandma's and we call it even?" And they're like, "Get in the back, man." I loved it. And they're playing pool with him and buying him food.
Yeah,
kind of cool. Yeah.
Their relationship with Bodie was pretty funny.
Yo, I like Bodie a lot, man. There's not much to talk about him in the season 1, I don't think. I think it's kind of one-dimensional. It's more of like seeing him become more and more like Avon or Stringer, or maybe Weebay. I guess that's the more parallel where he's headed. But I like Bodie a lot. Like, I thought it was really good comic relief.
He's the palm moving across the board.
Yeah.
We seen him. He started off as, just a regular dealer. But then when D'Angelo came into the fray, before D'Angelo got to the pit, you could say Bodie was the man running things in that operation. And Bodie became so recognized. What would you say, Perry?
I would say it's kind of like he kind of became complacent, because before D'Angelo came, D'Angelo like showing him game and like, "Hey, yo, man, these fiends, they scamming you, man. Money green, not blue.
money be green." That shit was funny.
Say money, nigga, money be green. Yo, when Bodie was talking to Carver was like, "What do you want? Tell me what you want." When he's like, "What I want for you to suck my dick."
Suck my dick.
Bro, that was so funny.
Carver thought he really had a CI. He said, bro, I'm in there, boy. He said, this nigga finna tell it all.
And he leaned in too. What a troll.
Yeah.
Fucking love Bodie.
I'm thinking my own bubbles, man. I'm finna be
That's a big difference between Kima, Carver, and Herc. Although I think, of course, Kima is more competent than them as an officer, as a detective. But I don't know if they said in season 1, but what was said, it's not really a spoiler, but like a phrase that they say is that a cop is only as good as their informants. Which is, it's pretty true, because Kima without Bubs, while she's still more competent than Herc and Carver, she's not going to be that much worth a damn, because Bubs is the one feeding her the information, and Bubs is very, very integral when it comes to the whole operation of taking the Barksdale organization down.
Yeah.
So you had to give him credit in that sense, but you had to give Kima credit for having that CI in Bubs. She has the people skills. Herc and Carver don't.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny how that all became like a chain reaction, because it started with because D'Angelo was in the pit with them, he told him about the whole fake money, and then Bubbles' friend got beat up. Because Bubbles' friend got beat up, Bubbles was like, "All right, I'm gonna take these guys down."
Yeah.
And then Kima got him. It was kind of like a chain reaction.
You're right. And the same thing in Omar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, that's how the CIs come out. They get fed up.
Precisely. Dang, I was gonna bring up another point about something with Carver. I don't remember what it was. So,
We gonna
what's
we
up?
gonna move on to Bubbles, that trash can.
What?
Track? Nah. Explain that. Explain that.
Oh, I ain't have any points. That's how I feel.
Baseless
I
slander.
mean, he was on crack.
He was on crack. Actually, was he on crack? I think he was on heroin.
Yeah, it might have been heroin. Whatever they were selling, he was there though.
Yeah, it didn't matter what it was selling. They could have been selling fucking flour, nigga. He was on that shit. Hey, he literally did that too. He stole flour.
I thought remember, it was somebody he bought something. And he's like, man, this ain't the good stuff. This is watered down. I forgot what it was, but it wasn't what he really wanted.
Yo, when Bubbles used the fish hook to steal the
Yeah,
drugs.
that's the scene I'm talking about. Because that was flour that he stole.
Oh, it was flour?
Mhm.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
It was because they was trying to. Him and Johnny was trying to shoot it up. He said Johnny was like, this nigga. He's like, this ain't shit, Bubs.
That's what it was.
Yeah, he said this ain't shit. So I was like, I risked my life for some, and you know, it's funny, but at the same time, I think me and Keith feel the same way. Is that we just love the journey of Bubbles, and you haven't seen the conclusion of it, but it's just seeing him struggle with being an addict, and you're already seeing the meetings that he's attended. He wants to change. You can see it. You can see it, but you know, being an addict, it's hard for him to, you know, make that step. And even when he makes a step, he has to make it consistent.
Yeah, he wants to. Yeah, that's what the guy from the AA meeting was saying. Like, getting clean is not the hard part. The hard part is life.
Yeah.
Damn.
Dealing with yourself after you get clean.
Yeah, like how do you get your day to day going after that? How do you stay clean?
Yeah.
He's the one I feel bad for Bubbles because he had his plan. He was like, all right, I get this money from Kima. I'm gonna avenge my sister. I'm gonna get this right. And then Kima gets shot, and then he get roped up by the police for no reason, and they just
They had a reason. He was an addict.
I don't get how that works. So that Bubbles last guy who called Kima, but you gonna fuck him up?
Yeah, they beat like okay. He called Kima like what they beat his ass. I'm like, bro, if he was the person who shot Kima, why would he even contact Kima? That don't even make sense to me. Like the cops beating him up didn't make that much sense to me.
It's setting up. He called her to get her there to kill her.
So he called her again after she got shot, just because,
like just to make sure. Hope she don't pick up. She pick up, she's still alive.
I was like, why y'all beat this ass?
I guess what the only thing I could think of the reason, and this isn't even a great reason, but it's like they were so angry that Kima got shot that they were just like blind rage, and they see this guy who is in the game, so they're like, yo, let's fuck him up. There's no way he could be a good guy, and I guess that's telling too. Like Bubbles will be stereotyped just because of all the shit that he's in, and he's a good person, but can't be seen that way.
Oh man, he a thief.
Good person. He a thief.
Bubbles.
Just because you steal from jug doesn't mean you're not stealing.
Yeah, I think that moral ambiguity with Bubbles is also good too, because like he say he's a good person, but even though I feel like Morgan the Pear is trolling, but there's still truth in that. He's not necessarily a good person. He has a good heart, I think.
Yeah.
But you are defined, and Key, you've seen a little bit of that in season 2, I believe. I won't go too far into it, but one thing that D'Angelo says that you're like basically defined by what you do. So even if you have good intentions or whatever, like what you do ultimately decides who you are. So even if you feel like this person like Bubbles has a good heart, he does a lot of good things, at the end of the day, he's still robbing people. He's still finessing people. He's still tricking them. So he is a bad person in a sense, but we know that it comes out of his addiction and the fact that, like he just can't help himself, and that's how he has to live.
I think one thing too that makes the brings up the moral ambiguity is that if someone is a criminal but they're working against the Barksdale organization in some way, they'll be seen in a good light. Like, remember that screenshot I sent of McNulty fist bumping Omar? This man is a murderer. Like, he's killed countless people, and he's in good with the police. They seem like friends because he's helping them for the bigger picture.
Yeah, but you can't be dapping people out like that.
Facts.
These cops, that's why I mean notes about him too, man. He down there with Carver and Hulk or Herc.
Stop it.
What up, ain't you a Leicester fan? Why is Leicester?
I'm a Leicester and McNulty fan, man.
No, you aren't.
McNulty?
Top
Yeah.
one.
What?
Oh.
What you mean?
Rawls is better than McNulty.
Okay. Are you just talking about specifically season 1?
Well, I mean, like overall, I think he's my favorite character, McNulty, just because of the struggle he go through. Like he's really like he trying to do the right thing, but the way he's doing it,
Bro, I can't lie to you, man. Perry, I don't like McNulty. I won't go too far into it, but we've seen glimpses of it. He is a bad father. Y'all may make jokes about me, but he is an alcoholic to the highest degree. Like, he is out of control.
Everybody's alcoholic in that show. Like, everybody's getting drunk.
True, but he is out of control. Perry, he is out of control. Like, everybody may drink and they may have their issues like bunk. We seen it, but he literally is out of control. Like, he's spiraling out of control when it comes to that. When that shit, like he is an addict.
I told y'all, man. McNulty, grown ass man. McNulty's making paper too. I mean, maybe not a lot, but he's making money. And this man's still sleeping on a mattress on the floor. Like I think in the second episode or first episode, they framed it really well. It's like he has a mattress on the floor, like food all over the place. Like there's not in a great place in his life, at least. Like he has a good, when he's a cop, like he's well put together and he's smart and he's accomplishing shit. When his personal life is just a complete mess.
He has no life outside the job. You've seen it.
He wouldn't be getting kicked out of his house if he didn't. Nah, forget McNulty.
Stop it.
Yeah, well, I think McNulty reminds me of myself a little bit too. Like if it's for work, I'll be 100% on point. Like I'm not missing any shots. Very focused. But then my personal life, like I'll be, like doing stuff I'm not supposed to be doing. Like I'll have some stuff messy. And I think it's because he's working so hard at the job and trying to stay focused on that because that's something that he's good at.
Mm-hmm.
He ignores his personal life because it's taking him away from the thing that he's can accomplish things at. And I think the kind of the supervisor detective, like the one that's right underneath Rawls, who's always making fun of McNulty.
Oh, Jay Lansman, the fat one.
I like his character a lot too. Like he seems super smart and funny and just always cracking jokes. But he said it well. Like McNulty, I don't remember what he said. I lost it. But he's like basically like McNulty's he thrives off of the stuff that he's doing at work because throughout his whole life he's been in like a small box where he feels like because of the wins that he's had growing up and coming up, now he feels like he's in this space where he can continue to win. So he feels like he's the smartest person in the room and has to continue making other people feel like shit so that he can keep himself feeling great. Like
that's why you see yourself in McNulty, huh? Rex tells you do that all the time to him. Make him feel like shit to make yourself feel better.
I mean, I'm not gonna run away from it. Maybe it's partially true.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta bring race down sometimes. It's okay.
Sometimes, all the time.
Yeah.
90%.
But yeah, McNulty is an interesting character. I do think, like, from an objective sense, like, while he's not one of my favorite characters, I think he's just a great character for the reasons that we already stated. Like, he has a lot of flaws, and I think the series highlights them, and they make it apparent it's a flaw. Like, he's a bad father. Like, I don't think that could be disputed.
That bad.
Perry, he is a bad father.
Okay.
You know when he was looking for Stringer? Is that in season 1?
Yes.
Yeah.
When the kids get lost?
Yeah.
Perry, the fact that the fact that the kids, it's not even the fact that he had to follow Stringer, because you can use the case that, oh, Stringer's not going to kill kids in broad daylight. The fact that the kids knew the drill, that means he's done this before with criminals. That's an issue. Like, this nigga McNulty is no.
He said, let's do the
no.
usual.
Yeah.
Look, Satsuki, I ain't gonna lie. Anytime the wife was going off on him, like, man, Minolta's the good guy. I hate his wife in the first season.
What?
He was telling the truth.
Very wildin'.
You lost the kids?
Yo.
That's what she was snapping about.
McNulty was cheating on her lawyer.
Yo.
What does that mean? Ain't name my
What?
mom?
What?
He's a cheater. He's a drunk, and he losing the kids.
But you know what he is? He a good cop.
He
That's not even
is.
true either.
He's a great cop. He's a great detective, but
No, he is not a good. He challenges authority, even though authority helps him out.
Yeah, and if everybody would listen to him, they'd have got bigger promotions.
Man, everybody been dead or fired if they listen to McNulty. I'm serious.
The Daniels would have been lieutenant by now.
No, man.
McNulty's interesting, man. It's kind of like, you know, in life when people are like, "Oh, we only do good things because they benefit us," and it's kind of like, even if you're somebody who donates to charity, or you're somebody who goes out and volunteers, or you're somebody who becomes a doctor because you quote unquote want to save lives, like there's a criticism that you always have an ulterior motive. And to bring it back to this, like, McNulty is trying so hard to be a great cop because it feeds his ego. And it's almost like he will use the justice system and, like, yo, this is something we have to do. Like, he'll criticize the other detective teams who are more interested in going after politicians. Like, more, it's like, no, this is what it is. He uses his moral compass to feed his own ego, which is really interesting, because I feel like it's such a part of life.
for sure.
That's very true.
Just with the SJWs kind of thing.
Hey, that's my gang.
He uses the fact that things are, like, right or whatnot, but in the end, it becomes more apparent later. But you can already see signs that he only cares about it because he wants to be right. When you cross his path and you try to hinder him in some way, shape, or form, McNulty is against you. It doesn't matter what history you have with him prior. You could be good to him, you could be bad to him. McNulty is going to backdoor you, and, you know, he only sees things in one linear line. It's like straightforward. He only sees it his way, and he wants to feed his ego for sure.
Yeah, with McNulty, you either with him or you're against him. And if you're against him, he's gonna go around you and undercut you every time.
Yep.
But sometimes you need that to be a good great cop. That'll make you.
We don't need that somebody taking out the team to get some regular criminals.
They got a championship. He literally dysfunctioned the team and got a championship. He took that
championship.
They took out Avon.
I mean, Avon, according to Key, he ain't got no feet. So he's taking out a feetless man. That's a championship.
Yes, sir. Everybody, look, man, after that, everybody got new jobs. Gotta be something.
Yeah, but going into season 2, what were they doing? I forgot.
Shitty jobs.
Yeah, Kimmy, she was back in the office, right?
But that was her own volition, though.
Oh, Oh yeah, because she had the baby was coming.
Yeah, it was because of her wife's influence. Because after she got shot.
Yeah, after she got shot.
Yeah. So basically, it was like, Daniels got demotion.
Shit! I didn't realize that.
Carver got a promotion
because he was snitching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carver was snitching.
Yeah, he was retelling shit to Burrell.
Oh man, y'all tell me he not one of the worst cops.
I feel like I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to say nothing. I'm not going to say nothing about him.
Carver, the priest from The Walking Dead, right?
Yeah.
Man, get him out of here.
Oh, you know, because he Catholic. I see how he is.
Nah, back-to-back shows he had missing roles. Missing.
I'm not gonna talk about
him. He was just telling his boss, man, hey, yo, these people, they're doing this. He was keeping them heads up.
I feel like Burrell and Rawls are like characters that we just, even with McNulty, I could see why some people may like them, but I feel like Burrell and Rawls, those are like two characters we just can't like.
Yeah.
I like Rawls a little bit.
Rawls?
One thing about those characters is, like, I wish we see more of their perspective of things. Like, I feel like because we see McNulty, Lester, and all them, like, more, we're like more inclined to be on their side. And like anytime something bad happens, they come from up top. But I wish we could see like more of their like what they have to go through.
Yeah, their decision making.
Yeah.
Hold on, you say you like Rawls, man? He dropped the hard R.
Don't check me, Morgan.
Oh, my bad. Erase that. Edit it
out. I think I like Rawls because I think he'll show some kind of empathy at the end of the day. Burrell on the other hand, fuck that nigga, man.
But I feel like you only feel like that because of the Kima situation. I'm not saying you're wrong, but
it is just that.
I feel like it was that situation in particular that kind of humanized him, because it seemed like he actually cared about what was going on with Kima, rather than for the first time being in charge or whatever and talking down to people. But Burrell in particular gets more development, more focus later on. I guess you could say Rawls too as well. It's just that I feel like even then, with that development that I know of that we're going to get in the future, those are just two characters that it's hard to like them. It's very hard to like them.
Yeah.
And I guess it's because of our perspective, because we're following Daniel's unit so much that they're always the antagonist to that unit. We always have to fight them to get manpower to move when we need to move or anything like that. And Burrell's the reason why Kima got shot in the first place.
Yeah, and it's yeah. Go ahead, Perry.
Oh no, you go ahead, Key.
It's you're making me think now. Like, if I thought about Burrell in terms of like a long term kind of perspective, like right now he's trying to become police commissioner, right? And maybe he's thinking like Barksdale is a smaller figure in the grander scheme of what I'm trying to accomplish for Baltimore. And I can't let Barksdale get in the way of me making this bigger change when I'm the commissioner. So if it's gonna take sliding on Barksdale, giving him a smaller charge so that I can become commissioner faster by getting the charge, the closed case rate up, then I can fix this big problem that the city has sooner than maybe after nobody else is in line to do it. Maybe like because he's a black man, maybe he's be the first black police commissioner. I don't know. Maybe that's the case. And maybe because of that, he can focus on issues that affect his community because he is from the community. So maybe that's what it is. We just don't see it. The story paints him as this person who is greedy.
Yeah.
There's also one thing that I noticed is like we talk about Burrell and them, but I think we kind of forget that Burrell is kind of like in the same position Daniels is in, because he gets his orders from like the mayor, and the mayor wants to see like, hey yo man, I gang rate and our drug rate is so high, you gotta bring that stuff down. And it comes down to Daniel, it comes down to Burrell, he gotta bring that to everybody else. So it's like a trickle effect from the top.
Yeah, you're right.
That is more stuff that we see later on in the season. So I don't want to get outside of season 1, but yeah, it's like what Perry said. It's a situation where I don't know where they said it at, but somebody in the wire made a comment like, shit rolls downhill, and that's how it is. It's like when somebody gets the bad end of the stick, they pass it on and they pass it on and they pass it on. So while we may be seeing Burrell give it to Daniels, it may be coming from somebody else higher than him. So it's kind of just like, it's like Old Maiden. Like the objective of Old Maiden is you have this one card, and whoever ends up with that card last is the one that loses. And that's how it is with the wire. It's kind of like people are passing down the Old Maiden to everybody else until that person eventually loses. Yeah. So that's just how it is. So that's how the politics works, and that's just how the structure, the police system, and even the drug trade, it works like that too sometimes.
Ooh, I got another question. I'm just going through my screenshots now. How do you feel about how D'Angelo was treating his baby mama and his kid?
How he was treating him?
Yeah.
Are you doing cheating on them? Or cheating on her?
Well, I don't know. Cheating in one hand, but also like he'd find a toy in the fridge, and you could just get this sense that he was just getting frustrated with being a father and being, I guess, like a partner to his baby mom.
Yeah.
I felt like he was regretting his life. Like, just, I don't even think it was necessarily the kid. It was just, I think it was really his baby mama that he did not like. Like, when she was going off about like what the baby needed and what she needed and everything like that, you just got the sense that he was kind of fed up with her and like being used for like basically like a bank, I guess you can say. So I wish we'd have got a little more of that, him talking about his kid and everything like that, but at least in season 1. But I felt like it was less of what to do with the kid. It was just more of he hated just being around his baby mama. Like, that was not it for him. That's why he used the one chick that he met at the club, and he was messing around with her.
Yeah.
See, I got something different from D'Angelo and his baby mama, because I remember one scene he was at the restaurant with his baby mama, and he was kind of like trying to like, I don't know how to describe it. It was kind of like he was trying to make them something that they weren't.
Yeah.
And even baby mama, he was like, "You'll never be like these white people. You'll always be just a black corner boy and stuff like that." And I feel like that's kind of showing like D'Angelo wanted something more. Like he wanted like he didn't want the game no more.
Yeah. He was ready to be done with everything, like new identity on his own.
Yeah.
Damn.
I can't remember. Did D'Angelo kill the witness, or was it like Avon?
It was Avon who killed the witness.
Okay, yeah.
Because they popped him in the head in broad daylight. D'Angelo killed some person we don't know of in the towers. I think they said that person was trying to rob him or something. D'Angelo just resorted to using his gun. He killed him. But the witness, they ended up killing him. It was most likely, I think it was actually Bird who did it. I think they said it.
Right?
Oh, you talking about the witness that Bunk and McNulty were trying to find out?
Yeah.
That case? And you said Avon did it himself?
No, we saying that Avon ordered it.
Oh, okay, yeah. I thought Weebay did it.
I thought it was Bird who did it, but I think Weebay just took up all the cases. What's up?
Oh, yeah, he took it.
Because I think the one, you talking about the one with the woman in a house with the window?
Yeah.
I think that was Weebay, because I think D'Angelo mentioned it was Weebay. Weebay who did it.
Yeah, that was Weebay.
Yeah, that's one I was talking about that.
I think Satsuki talking about the janitor.
Yeah, he talking about early on. The guy who snitched on him.
Yeah.
And he dead.
Yeah, who was in the court.
Oh, yeah, I know you're talking about that.
Second scene, I think.
Yeah.
Now, that was in the wide open. They shot him.
Yeah, broad day. Oh,
And of course, nobody came up to say anything.
this might be a spoiler key, and I apologize if it is, but I literally can't remember. Did Burrell get arrested in season 1?
Bird's the one they beat up,
so.
right?
Yeah, Bird did get arrested pretty early on.
Okay, cool. I won't speak more about it, but Bird was just funny to me. That's all I'll say. Bird was hilarious.
Oh, yeah, because he was cussing him out.
You cunt. Cunt eater.
Oh, yeah. Fredro Starr, that's who it is.
That nigga was he was so bro. He reminded me of from Hunter x Hunter. What was his name? The bunny nigga, Ramont. Like Ramont was so fucking angry on Hunter x Hunter. That nigga was just mad. He just had this unrivaled anger, and that's how Bird was. It's like, bro, calm down, nigga. He was not hearing none of that shit though.
Hold on, Keith. You saying Omar was a good guy? He lied on Bird about the gun and everything. on under oath too. Nah, man. Omar, he's a villain. I don't care what y'all say.
I thought it happened in season 2 though.
I don't know. I probably think it was 1.
I'm not sure. That's why I didn't bring it up.
No, when he's in court, I haven't seen that yet. I saw it in the clips on YouTube though.
Hey,
I'm looking forward to that scene. I saw him like with a tie on, or it's just normal shirt.
Yeah.
I can't fucking wait.
Omar's a character, man. He is a character.
Omar.
You know his last name, Key?
Think I've seen. No, I don't know it.
I don't know when that was revealed or not.
I'm not sure at all.
Yeah, no either.
There's no big spoilers or nothing, but we'll wait on it.
For me, one thing I also like is the fact that the quote unquote good guys don't get a break. They do in a sense, but the same issues that are quote unquote antagonists face are protagonists face, in that they had to deal with just incompetence, and they had to deal with people who just aren't up to speed, and a lot of the times corruption, people just being fucking stupid. Like they both had to deal with that. I like that both sides have to deal with people just being fucking stupid, and it hurts them on both ends.
Yeah, that's true. It's a good point. Like Little Man, kind of, I guess. And remember the cops that the part of Daniel's unit, that the couple white guys who just didn't give a fuck.
Oh yeah, the drunk and the other guy who got fucked up and had to leave.
Yeah.
Oh, that scene was so funny though. He got his ass beat up by Bodie. And it was two funny things that happened with that. First, when he was laying down, somebody lit a cigarette and they had him smoke it while he was laying on his back. They say, "Here, take this, nigga." Like it was a first aid kit. It's like, "Take this, nigga. Come on." And then when Kima hauled ass to beat Bodie, just to beat that nigga, she said, "Wait, you just hit a cop? I'm finna beat your ass." She wasn't even in the vicinity. She said, "Nah, nigga, that's me."
Yeah, because it made it seem like, oh, she's just gonna break up the fight, but then she was like beating on him.
Action.
I think she pushed Carver out of the way so she could get some action.
She beat that nigga. That shit was funny.
I like Kima.
Oh yeah, Kima's dope. Kima's dope. I like how Herc and Carver, they have resentment towards her because like she's just so good at her job, and they're like, bro, like who put you in charge? It's like she's in charge because she's just that good.
Yeah, because these niggas can't do it at all compared to her.
Yeah, I think they established that good in the first scene that we seen of those three, because they had to stop. Somebody had guns or whatever, and she told them like, it was another gun in there, and
yeah, that's true.
I think they pulled out like a shotgun or something. They were showing off or whatever. Kima was like 2 guns, nigga, and then she went in there, searched it, and found it. It just established from day one. Kima is on top of things. Herc and Carver, while they are okay at their job, they are too gung ho and too eager to celebrate.
Yeah, the way that they go about things. I remember that like in the car talking like, yo, the way that let's go beat these niggas up, beat the shit out of them, so and then crack this case. Oh shit, we would crack the case. Let's just go beat them up.
How do you feel about how the Barksdale organization is ran? Do you feel like it's airtight? Do you feel like it's too loose?
I liked it a lot. I thought that they had a really nice approach, that they thought shit through. The pagers, the code with the numbers. I think what I liked is that they maxed out with what was available to them, because like
For sure,
they're mostly uneducated, but they're
for
running
sure.
which is like if they are more educated, the code with the phones would have probably been more complicated. But it's kind of like because they can't expect these 16-year-old dudes who not in school to be able to come up with anything more complex than just skipping over the 5 on the digits on the phone. So it's like they're within limitations at certain levels, like they're really street smart. But you see Stringer in school now, like trying to educate himself, to get better and to make the game even more complicated. But I think what I did see is they like the rules that they had were, you could see that they really built this thing from the ground up themselves. It's like, yo, don't, when you're on the phone, don't mention anything. Like, don't use names. Just say the minimum that you need to get the information across. The tactics that, I mean, you could even see with Avon, like, he tricked the police. He tricked all of the detectives when they was driving around in the car to go to the barber shop. Like, he lost them. They couldn't find where he was. So it's small things like that really impressed me. Like when they switched the direction of the sign, that completely threw them off.
Yeah.
Like something as simple as that. That is little guerrilla tactics. They're kind of like, in a way, kind of like Kanki from Kingdom, where it's like they'll do these little things that no one else might think of that are like kind of underhanded, but they're simple enough to get the job done.
Perry, Morgan.
I think the Barksdale is like from the very top, they're very good, but I also think that I think at the bottom they're not as tight, but they can afford to be that because usually the most you get them on is something little, and they get out the same day. So that bottom part, that like the pit area, ain't gotta be like super tight or super like well organized as the other part. Because you can see that when D'Angelo get there, he was like, and I think even Stinger mentioned it, like, hey, yo, the pit number's been going up ever since D'Angelo been there.
Yeah.
Because he knew how to run the game, and he knew what to do, especially at the lower levels. Because he was doing like towers, and the towers were like way more experienced and stuff like.
Yeah, I guess that makes me think that they could have, making me think they could have done more training at the lower. Like you see towards the end, I think it's one of the last scenes. I think it's Poot. He's like, yo, he's instructing the younger ones now on how to sell the drugs. Like, make sure you can't be, are you stupid? You can't be giving him the money and then giving him the drugs right after. You have to send him around the corner and let somebody else give him the drugs so that you don't get caught on camera doing the exchange.
Yeah.
So if like they did more training at that level, shit would have been tighter and they could have gotten more money out of it. But yeah.
One little moment I loved was when Stringer told D'Angelo, like I don't know if it was Stringer told D'Angelo or D'Angelo told D'Angelo, but it was like we was like, all right, man, I think somebody's snitching. So what I want you to do is I want you to cut their pay on Friday and give them a week, and as people start asking you about their money, then you know they good. But if no one start asking about money and they stay still eating, that's a nigga you gotta look out for. I was like, man,
yeah.
Street smart.
There's basically like a battle of attrition, and in street terms, it's just like you bleeding them out to see who's really bleeding out. If you're really with them, you're going to bleed out. But if you're going to the opposition, talking to other people, and you getting fed someone else, do you know where they stand at? So yeah. But Morgan, how you feel about the Barksdale organization, how they ran?
I like the pager thing, the code. Oh man, I love that with the pay phones. And the police it took so long for them to even figure it out. Then, like Perry said, you could say they're top heavy because the drug dealers were kind of whack. Besides what's his name, Bodie.
Yeah,
he was on the decent one. D'Angelo and Wallace, a guard boat. You know what I'm saying?
D'Angelo's Garbo.
Yes. Pulled and broke. Bodie carried it. And then who else? The towers. We didn't get into the tower that much, did we? In season 1?
nah.
Nah.
Yeah. So, but I loved Avon being at the top, and nobody really knows him. No paperwork, none of that.
Yeah, that was tight.
But all the money goes to him,
Yeah.
and Stringer being the face, really.
I was surprised when they said it's like $60,000 a day.
That's how much they were earning.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Man.
That's so much fucking money, man.
Bruh, I think I feel what everybody was saying. I feel like in totality the Barksdale organization was, like he said, they was ran as tight as they could have been within the confines of the competent people that they had, because you had to have foot soldiers who aren't, they at the end of the day, they can't, like he said, they're uneducated. They're not going to have people that are polished enough to carry out the tightness that we see from the top. Avon, Stringer, they know the drill. They're not going to talk. They're not going to use names. They know the fucking drill. Niggas like Weebay, they know the drill.
Hold on, D'Angelo's supposed to know it, but he the one trying to talk inside the car.
That's why D'Angelo doesn't belong. And that's what.
No. Say he was garbage, but y'all attacked me.
No, I don't. He's not garbage. He does not belong in the game, though. There's a difference.
He's below poop.
Listen, oh my god. Listen.
Who was it? It was like one scene where it was Wallace or Pooh. They couldn't count. I think it was Wallace. Wallace couldn't count to save his life.
They see that Wallace.
It was Wallace.
Yeah, that nigga couldn't count. He got no bullets in his bag. Let's get to the count.
Right. They let Johnny trick him. Oh my god, white boy Johnny.
Yeah, that's
it's funny. It's interesting too when you say the foot soldiers can't do much, and it brings it back to analogy like the pawn. Like D'Angelo said, he can only move forward one step, and if he needs to fight, moves in this direction. That's all they can do.
Yeah.
You can't expect much from a pawn, but you have to use them to. Even though your pawns can get popped very easily, they're still an important part of the whole chess game, because their entire row is filled with them, and you have to use them to push the game forward.
Yeah.
Even though they can get easily killed. It's like that's what it is. It's the Barksdale organization is, like they explained it earlier. It's a chessboard. And they have to use the limited resources you have and the limited ways that each piece can move to accomplish things.
Hold on, did that make Stringer the queen?
Yeah, Stringer's the queen.
Yeah, he was moving like that.
Every
direction.
If we were assigning,
that's a good one.
Yeah,
if
we bathed.
For me, I feel like Weebay would be a rook.
Didn't they say didn't they say the drugs was the rook though?
Oh, I don't know if they. I don't remember exactly what they assigned when he was bringing up that analogy. I'm just saying in my mind, I feel like Weebay would be a rook, and that rooks can move one way. Like he's a soldier, so he's not really flexible, but he does his shit. Like that rooks can move one way.
Anybody.
Yeah, they can move one way, and what is it? Horizontally or vertically? Yeah.
D'Angelo Mon got to be a bishop.
D'Angelo
Mon.
Gotta
be. She was out there with the king and queen.
Okay, so like, who would be knights? Because I feel like knights are the most interesting pieces, and the reason why this is a call. This is a call to my rap name, Knight. Why I call myself Knight, is because they're the only pieces on the chessboard that can move this way. No other piece can move. Not even the queens can move this way. They move in like basically like a L shape. So they're the most unorthodox piece on the chessboard.
Could you say that's like somebody like Bubs?
No, because I'm talking about like with the Barksdale organization. Yeah. So who would the knight be? I'm not entirely sure.
Oh, brother. You already know Brother M.
No.
We can't talk about him, but
I didn't spoil it.
yeah, we can't talk about him, but that's an interesting point. I definitely think Omar would be a knight if he was a part of the Barksdale organization.
Yeah, facts.
Omar a pawn, man.
Morgan, why can't we ever like the same characters in anything?
I don't know. You hate Avon for no reason.
I don't hate him. I just think he's fearless. That's it.
He think, but he's not.
So who would be the bishop?
Hold on, low key. Omar only got lore. All he did was rob a couple of little drug dealers.
Only.
But when he come down the street though, they say get Omar's coming. That's lore. He ain't got feats like that.
Alright.
Well, no, he did shoot at Avon. and he shot Weebay.
He would have killed Avon too. Weebay said, I got you.
Avon got the moves. You better relax.
Right, Avon was ducking. He said, what the fuck?
Weebay came around that corner limp and said, I got you, boss. Now, that's like Forster.
Maybe like Stinkum. Stinkum was supposed to run like a place, the pit, right?
Stinkum was so trash. I can't lie.
Was he?
He was not competent, bro. He was failing every single time. He's the one who got popped for the drugs. And granted, he was on the wire, so he couldn't really escape that. But he didn't really do. For me, I don't understand why they trusted Stinkum so much, because I didn't see anything that he did on screen that warranted him having the position that he had over D'Angelo, nonetheless.
Yeah.
Well, it was more like, was it Stinkum the one day they gave his own territory at Stinkum?
Yeah.
Okay, I think it was because like D'Angelo kind of fucked up with the towers, and he kind of fucked up, so he had like work his way back up. So I guess Stinkum was like just like next up, like he was like the next lieutenant that didn't have.
Yeah, I guess this conversation about the chess pieces is making me realize that what we've seen in the Barksdale organization, they didn't have that many skilled people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like we can't assign people to these chess pieces because there's just not many. Like definitely Avon's king, Stringer's queen, Weebay is good as a rook, but bishop, knight, can't think of anyone to fill those roles.
Yeah.
And I guess that's part of why they probably lost in the end.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about Pooh. I don't know why.
Pooh can be a knight. I ain't want to say it, but Pooh is possible.
When Pooh fucking took that gun from Bodie and then popped Wallace in the head, damn.
It was heavy.
And they're best friends, right?
Yeah. It was the closest.
That's crazy. Who his last minute took to the McDonald's. That's fucked up, man. Take me somewhere nice. You want to kill me? Take me somewhere nice.
They ain't got nowhere else, man. They ain't got money like that for Mickey D's.
Right.
And you know what? They wasted a whole chicken nuggets. I remember that scene. They wasted food.
Yeah, you might as well not feed the dead, about to be dead, man.
Oh my god.
Yo, Wallace was begging for his life. He's like, yo, we homies. We coming from the start. He's known these kids since he was young as hell.
That's the one thing I understand with Wallace. He was just too dumb. Like I get he's supposed to be dumb, but I'm like, okay, you may not be super smart, but you in the game. You know, if you talk to the cops, you left, then you come back. Like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Of course he gonna come stop worried about that.
Yeah.
Maybe Daniel should have explained it to him better.
At the same time though, they would have never did what they did with Wallace if they weren't cracking down. Because it was basically a situation where Avon and Stringer were They were taking down anybody they thought was even a little bit suspect. They didn't even know Wallace was snitching. They didn't know anything about him talking to Daniels or anything like that. They didn't know. They just felt like, oh, he been tripping ever since we killed Brandon. Oh, he been using. We got to kill him. They didn't know he was snitching. They just had a suspicion. They was right, but yeah, it was loose ends that they had to tie up, and he was a victim of that. So yeah, I do think he was stupid still. You can also bring it from their perspective. It's like, or if he was trying to think from their perspective, why would he think that they already knew that he was snitching?
And it was funny because D'Angelo kept trying to tell him, man, hey, get out the game.
Yeah.
Get out the game. Get out the game.
What's interesting too is that I don't even think Wallace realized that talking to the cops was a bad thing. I think like his motive, they didn't make it clear, at least to me, that his motive for talking to the cops was because of Brandon getting killed. It just seemed like he wasn't in the right mind space because he was getting high all the time. And he was like withdrawal symptoms. He just felt sick. So it was just like, yo, I'll just answer any question you want me to answer right now. And so I think he didn't see the gravity of what snitching was, which is why like he came back like it wasn't a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing I'm thinking of to a different point is that if they had the money for a witness protection program for Wallace, like they should have, he would have been fine. Like if they'd put him up in a hotel with room service for 6 months, he would have probably been having a good time. Like just watching TV all day in a hotel.
See, I think if they do that, he still do the same thing he does. I feel like he'd just be like, man, I'm trying, like I feel because one thing when he was with his grandmother is like he kept calling Pooh, and Pooh was checking up on him. He was like, man, I'm gonna come back, man, I'm gonna come back. So I think he would do the same thing.
Maybe, but yo, you ever spend a summer in the country?
Say it again.
You ever spend a summer in the country?
Yep.
Yo, that shit is hard, man.
Yes, it is.
Like as a kid, like you go to the countryside, you don't got cable, you don't got internet, you don't got video games. You're just there in the wilderness. The one thing to entertain you is going outside. And this thing was there by himself. No cousins, no friends, nothing. That's not bearable. I understand why he wanted to come back.
You gotta take that Xbox with you, man, and play offline.
But if he was like at the hotel, he'd probably like get the room service. He'd have a TV to watch. He'd be in a nice ass bed.
Key, you might not like me for this, but he just needed some hoes. If he was like Poop, like he was just talking to all these girls or whatever, he would have been good. Like he would have been good. It's the first time where I feel like him talking like. A lot of the times when these drug things fall apart is because like the person falls in love or something like that. He's messing with his chick. He needed that. He needed that distraction just so he wouldn't even resort to being bored enough to going back to the hood. Because it was literally boredom that drove him to that. He's like, I don't like it in the country.
Is she gonna be in the country or was she gonna be in the hood in Baltimore?
Oh no, it would have been bad if she was in the hood because.
Yeah, she would have been like, hey, why don't you come back?
Yeah, why don't you come through? Get one of them barn bitches, you good.
Yeah, white.
White.
Wholesome, God-fearing.
Oh. Some addict.
Some addicts. Come on.
Wallace was teasing Wallace about girls too.
Man.
Hold on, those people that the little kids in his house, those weren't his brothers and sisters?
No, they weren't. They were little hoppers.
Oh, okay.
There's niggas without homes or whatever, still doing, the hoppers, the ones that was really like dealing the drugs as far as like them getting it and then handing it off. He was just giving them a place to stay.
Yeah.
Man, Wallace was for the kids, man.
Got them Chinese food, chips.
Yeah. Woke them up for school.
Yeah. Man, I thought we were gonna get a Wallace redemption story. Like he go back to school, we'd see him in high school doing shit. Maybe like season 2, he'd be coming up, like getting smart, coming back. I'm talking to Pood. Damn, nigga got killed. I didn't expect him to die.
I definitely thought he was gonna go to school and stuff. I didn't think he was gonna die either when I first watched it.
I prefer put that for one character. But we'll talk about that later.
Man, I feel like season 2 is gonna be a real good discussion because season 2 for me, I know Key you already looked into it. I won't talk too much about it, but I feel like season 2 is the most different of The Wire, even more so than season 5, which I think might be the worst season of The Wire. But season 2 just feels the most different, especially coming off of season 1.
Is it because of the switch? The switch kind of there's less focus on the drugs because Barksdale's in jail.
Yeah, they went to the whites.
The white people, and it's not really drugs anymore. It's just a little bit more complicated than that.
Yeah, you showed that screenshot what was in the crate. Yeah, that's what they dealing with.
Yeah.
Hold on, have you met the best character yet in
Who's
season
that?
2?
Who's that?
Jeez, have you met him?
Maybe not.
Nigga, come on, bro.
You lucky I ain't say Zig.
Hold on now.
Why do you hate Zig so much?
I don't hate him.
All right, Key. we could talk about this off stream. We could talk about this off stream, but
we gotta keep it on stream.
No, because I want to talk about Ziggy when we get to season 2. I mean, Key is already how many episodes you watched in season 2, Key?
I think 5.
Yeah, so it won't be too far till we can make another one of these next week.
Probably next week,
yeah.
Oh, you haven't met Cheese yet?
You should have met Key. You should have met Cheese by then.
I feel like
He's the one he roughed up Ziggy.
It's Method Man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Cheese, they killed my.
I don't know what Method Man is.
He might be the best actor in the show.
Stop it.
Acting wise?
Remember when Ziggy had that car? That red car he was driving? You remember that car?
Yeah.
Cheese is the one who stopped him. Okay. You remember the scene where Ziggy was trying to get his money from this one dude? He was like, I'm gonna fuck you up. You remember that scene?
No.
He did not sound like that.
Yeah, he definitely sounded like that.
He sounded like a little bitch.
I don't know if I've gotten there yet.
Stop hating.
I don't know if I've gotten there.
You definitely have gotten there. I know it because it was early on.
Yeah. You met Frank, but you ain't met Cheese.
Cheese Louise.
I don't think so, yo.
No, you had to. That's the whole thing that started Ziggy up.
No, I don't think so, man.
It happened season 5. Episode 5, season 2. Key.
Oh, maybe I'm not at episode 5 then. I might be. The last thing that happened is, what's going on? They just got the crew back together. So I might be on episode 4.
Okay.
So I'm talking like Kima, Herc, Prez are down in a new headquarters. Okay.
So okay. If that's the case, then that's the case. But I think you do meet him exactly episode 5. So
okay, because I think I remember significant character introduction.
You're gonna see more reasons why I hate Ziggy though. I'm surprised I'm surprised you don't hate him now though.
I think I find him. He reminds me of some relatives that I have.
I thought, bro. I thought you was gonna say something else. Should I say it? Yeah, I'm gonna
Reminds you Six Path?
Yeah, I thought you was gonna say Six Paths or AMG.
AMG.
I don't know why he's gonna say, why I thought that.
Hold on, wait. Who was 60? Oh no, he don't show up till way later.
Yeah, Officer Walker. Oh my god, I'm not gonna talk about him at all.
Later on, I could see myself hating him, but right now he's just kind of funny.
Perry was McNulty, right?
Stupid way.
I think so. Yeah.
That's why he want to co-sign McNulty. McNulty is garbage, just like Perry D. Rat.
Is there anything else y'all want to talk about season 1? Because I think I ran out of things.
Let me see. Let me look at my screenshots.
We did bubbles, right?
The Weebay meme.
Oh yeah, you got
that was the season 1. The whole
Yo, he shot a cop.
yeah.
Shorty was
He was a cop. Shotty was a cop.
He said, "You know, Shorty was a cop." The way he said it, you know, Shorty was a cop. He said,
Yo,
"What?"
the way the camera panned around the man.
Yeah, that's
And then
what did it.
I had no I told you guys this already, but I had no idea that that's where the meme came from. So when I saw that shit happen, I was like, what the fuck? That was wild. That took me out, man.
Bruh. And the
Let
fact
me
that
just go through that. Yeah, go ahead.
the fact that memes weren't a thing during that is just funny. It's became something that's so used today, right now, and people don't even know the source of it anymore. And that's the thing about memes. They get used so much, you just forget the origin of them.
Yeah, the context.
Let me go through my screenshots and we can wrap it up if you want.
He said, "You hate Avon?" He said, "Slight dislike." Then me and Satsuki did the what emoji, and then he said, "No feet." Villain with no feet, low.
So
Yo,
disgusting.
I think half of these comments that I make though, it's because I know it's gonna piss you guys off.
Yeah, we know. That's why Satsuki said he can't wait to roast your ass.
I fucking knew that Avon would have hit a spot. Let me go through my screenshots. I got Rawls saying harder. I was surprised by that one, but then I remember it's 2002. I got Omar introduction. It's nice to see that a lot of these characters were in The Walking Dead too, because D'Angelo is in The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
They the one who ate it. They the one who ate his leg.
Yeah.
He's like, I was betting, bitch.
Oh, what did meme say? Bob's Burgers. They start grilling it and everything.
I'm taking meat. I'm surprised we didn't talk about Lester that much, but I guess Lester is the good detective, right? The black guy.
Yep.
I think we haven't talked about him and Kima too much because their stories aren't very controversial in any way. They're kind of just competent and good on screen, and straightforward. You like them. They don't like complexity.
One thing we can talk about Lester, while they may not be complex in the fact that they don't have like flaws as glaring as everybody else, I want Lester in particular. The fact that he started off in a pawn shop, this dude is literally a diamond in the rough. The fact that he was wasting himself away in a pawn shop is telling of. It's just a microcosm of how bad the corruption is in the police department, because apparently he pissed off someone so much that they thought it was fit to have him in a pawn shop when this dude is literally one of the best detectives in the entire series.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Stop making your superior mad.
Oh my God. Bow to the white man.
What do you mean? The person
Burrell.
in charge is black. Yeah.
We got
Burrell white.
Man.
We got Money Be Green. We got You Can Suck My Dick. We got this is a good point right here. I ain't never put my gun on nobody. I felt kind of mixed feelings about Omar in some parts. Like,
what do you mean by that?
Like contradicting himself in a little bit of ways sometimes.
I want you to go on more in depth about that.
Like I feel like the snitching is something that I would expect Omar to be against.
Mm-hmm.
But he got emotional and decided to do it to seek out his own ends. So when in some of these moments, like even this quote right here, like I ain't never put my gun on nobody, I wonder if he would go back on that principle if he was pushed far enough. You know what I mean?
If he was in danger himself, or like let's say if Brandon was in danger.
Yeah, if Brandon got killed by some other kind of reason.
Mm-hmm.
And he needed to kill somebody to get to Avon.
But I feel like Omar's probably one of the people who'd be like, well, I feel like if you'd have killed Brandon, you part of the game. I feel like that'd have been like the thing. Would have been.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I got. Nah, I don't have anything there. Yeah, we talked about most of these already.
Yeah, I think we pretty much covered everybody in the Daniels unit except for the.
There's one more.
What's up?
Look the part, be the part, motherfucker.
Who said that?
The guy who's the leader of the East Side or the West Side, the basketball.
Oh, Proposition Joe.
Joe.
We gotta. He wasn't that relevant in season 1.
Yeah,
but
I was just about to say.
Oh, he comes back, huh?
Proposition Joe is a very good character. He's a very good character.
He's the East Side or what? West Side?
No, he's East. He's East.
He's the rivals.
Yeah.
He finessed Avon in that basketball game. He was like, "Hey yo, Avon, let's double or nothing." Avon said, "Shit, you don't want to lose your money? Let's go ahead and get it." He said, "Hey yo, get his ass." Got the bins.
He had a ringer, man.
He got this skinny short nigga out of nowhere, just like turn on. Avon got played, and that was funny too. It's like they said, "Hey, let's make it 6 figures," so they probably bumped it up to like 100 grand, right? The pot. And it's crazy because like, that's nothing. That money is nothing for Avon.
Yeah.
Avon was like, "All right, that's cool, man. You play me. You can come to the West Side, man. We'll show you hospitality." I was like, "Hey, Avon, cool dude, man. When you lose, you lose."
But I think that also gave us that basketball game gave us another inkling of Avon's character. And the scene I'm talking about is with the referee when he missed that blatant call. Like, I don't see how. Unless this nigga was paid by Proposition Joe, I don't know how he didn't call that. Because that nigga mugged his ass. He said, that nigga said, "I seen nothing." I said, "What the fuck?"
He was paid off.
Avon Avon was like, "Bro, what the fuck was that?" He's like, you want me to change the call? He's like, "That's not how the game is played." And I think that's a big part of his character. What he wanted the referee to do in that situation, I guess, was to stand up for himself regardless of the consequence, because, stand on your word, because the referee's kind of indecisive. He's like, "Oh, do you want me to change it? What do you want me to do?" Basically, we'll do how you say, Avon. We can do a redo.
Yeah. What's interesting too is I see the depth of what Avon's saying. On one hand, it's like you can't actually stand up to him, because if you do, like, chances are you're gonna get killed. But at the same time, it's like if that referee was a man of his through and through, he'd probably never be in a position where Avon could be talking down to him like that.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
it's like, stand up for yourself, but it has to be a part of who you are. It can't just be a reaction to something happening.
Shoot, that also shows you how dope Avon is.
Yeah, because
he could just win every game just by threatening people. But no, that's not the game.
Nah, the game is played.
Make the right calls.
It's also interesting to see, like, because Avon seems relatively young, right? Like, he seems like, I don't know, late 30s.
Yeah.
And he has accomplished so much so far, and it goes to show, like, the kind of person that he is at his core, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Do we get his backstory later on?
you don't get flashbacks on The Wire, so.
You don't get flashbacks?
Nope.
Or you do?
You don't.
Damn. One thing my friend pointed out to me too is that The Wire doesn't have a background track or any score or soundtrack.
Yeah, that's true.
In the opening, so
I love the opening, especially the first one. I don't like the ones later down, but I got that shit memorized.
Some of the visuals, right?
I'm talking about the song. If you walk through the garden,
man, no,
you better watch your back. Well, I beg your pardon. Walk straight and narrow track. That shit hit for me. They got different renditions of the same, got the same lyrics and whatnot, but
yeah.
I think the first one was the best one for me. I had that in my ringtone at some point. I might still do.
I always skip it. Skip that in.
Dustin said, "Y'all gotta let the wire."
He been said that. He said that a while ago.
Rest isn't what let it die.
I guess.
Yeah, don't talk about it. Well, I haven't seen it before. He probably doesn't know that.
I'm trying to do a Walking Dead discussion.
Lord,
we can't let that shit.
I'm good. I'm totally good.
8 seasons of Heat, and y'all don't want to do it.
I'm not really watching that series.
Naughty, don't come with that shit.
My favorite moment is when the chick pulled out the rocket launcher. Wow.
I give it 3 seasons of Heat, maybe 4.
Man, 8.
One of the reasons I love The Wire and I don't like The Walking Dead is that I feel like The Wire doesn't like work super hard to get to the midway of the season or to the finale. I feel like The Wire structures its season in a way that the high point has to have something significant happen. Like it has to be something big happen, and the finale has to be something super huge to happen for them to wrap things up. Even if it doesn't make sense, or even if like it just doesn't feel natural or whatever. The Wire, it flows. While the finales all may be significant and big, there's build up to that, and there's never like a mid season issue. Because I feel like the problem that Walking Dead has, especially later down the line, is that the mid season episode is usually good, and the finale is good, and the intro is good. But everything in between those are usually mid or lacking in some aspect. Like it feels like filler just to get to those points. And I feel like The Wire is all characterization, plot progression. Like they're doing something with those episodes, whether you like it or not.
I agree. I feel that it doesn't feel rushed at all. The pacing is really nice. Very calming.
Walking Dead had what, 18 episodes a season? Not rushed at all.
See, that's why I like season 1 though. It was short, and I feel like that was good. Season 2 was kind of weird.
You're weird.
I am a little.
Oh,
People tried to cancel me. I posted something on Twitter. It was just like a copy.
Oh, the Elsa thing.
Yeah. Then like Rex tried to lie. I'm like, Rex, come on, bro. You watch ReZero. Like, stop playing with me.
You can't cancel somebody over that.
Well, not cancel. It's just that people was acting all disgusted. Like, oh, how could you say that? Man, get the fuck out of here. You ain't no saint. Shout out to Saint.
Hey,
Saint over here having an argument right now. I want to shout him out.
Oh, we'll do that later. Blue Pheasant said, salute to the stream. Never watched The Wire though. According to Uber Akari, Walking Dead is amazing for a while. Or are we talking about the Walking Dead comment? I watched some of Uber Akari's videos on The Walking Dead, so I think he was talking about the TV show. Yeah, I like The Walking Dead. I really liked it for a long time. It's just that I think it was season 7, season 8. That's when I couldn't take it anymore.
See, 7 seasons of Heat.
I think the comic's better than the TV show for anyone who's interested in the comic.
You want to read? Come on, man.
What? Just like manga? What?
Man, apparently the comic is way better than the TV show. I just haven't read it.
If you want a better Negan season, you could just start there in the comic. It's better in the comic than the TV show. The suspense is set up way better, and the plot is makes more sense too.
And Muppet swears by the comics, so. But he also like Eugene, so he clearly got bad taste.
I don't know. You was facing the bag.
Eugene, that boy.
Yeah. He's only missing season 8. He's the only missed part about it.
Oh my god. I wonder if Eugene is equivalent to Ziggy in fan perception.
Ooh, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Because Ziggy was all just messing up. That's it.
All misses. Shout out Tony Snell.
What, 0 for 28?
Yeah.
Yo, when Ziggy bought that, I was cracking the fuck up.
When he bought what?
The leather jacket.
Oh yeah.
Yo, the man gets like money from, I forget the other dude's name. Like,
Nick.
Yo, yeah, Nico. Nico's like, yo, don't do anything with the money. Don't do anything fancy. And Ziggy goes and drops $2,000 on a leather jacket.
That's what pisses me off about him.
That shit sticks out so fucking much. Immediately, the people at work there knew that he was stealing shit.
Bro, that's what pisses me off about Ziggy. He just compromises everything that Nick and Frank do. They are low key about what they do. They do what they do. They don't flash anything. They do what they do. It's done.
Yeah.
Ziggy is he trolls niggas. He tries to be funny. Sometimes he can be funny. Like sometimes he is good comic relief. But I think just like in the grand scheme of things, I don't see how in the fuck, other than him being family, how he keeps getting opportunities the way he does. Because if I was Nick, I would have been like, bro, we freezing Ziggy out on some fucking Isaiah Thomas shit. Like we not letting this nigga do anything.
Yeah, you're right. Cause Nick was like, Ziggy would go off on some shit, make an excuse, and then Nick would like smile it off or laugh it off. Kind of sad. Well, I haven't gotten too far though.
Yeah,
I'll see what happens.
Yeah, we've been talking too much about season 2. We'll get back on that, but I think DJ said I dropped The Walking Dead after the first season. God, bro, this first season was like 6 episodes. Like, whoa.
DJ said, "Fuck this."
We made a top 3 character, and what's his name? Merlin.
Merle.
Yeah. Then we met T-Dog.
Oh my God, T-Dog.
And Rick Grimes. As long as, what's his name? Shane. As long as Shane not top 3, you good.
What? Shane is obviously top 3.
No, he is not.
He was fucking best friend wife. That's a goat right there.
Ain't no, there's not 2 characters you can put over Shane.
I just said him.
Yeah, you just cap.
T-Dog is not better than Shane.
T-Dog, a nigga that got no character.
T-Dog is
a psychopath.
Man, tell me something about T-Dog's character. What is what is his motivation? What is this nigga?
Okay, his motivation, he wants to survive the zombie apocalypse. Something about his character, he's black. What else do you want?
That nigga T-Dog don't got no. I'm just realizing that I didn't know how much of a character he didn't have until I thought about it. Like this nigga's like blank.
I remember watching Uber and Mean. They was talking about Walking Dead. He was like, "Bro, somebody just tell me what's T-Dog's real name, and I'll get off the subject." He's the only one with a gangster name.
Yo, imagine that, man. You get introduced. Yo, hey, my name's Rick. I'm T-Dog.
T-Dog.
He held it down though. Whenever he was on screen.
Yeah.
No, there's somebody named Darius, and he was doing like each Walking Dead character, like how much dialogue they had for like minutes wise, and T-Dog had like 2 minutes worth for like through 4 seasons.
T-Dog is just pushing. He's
a background character.
He's just there to lift shit.
Just a big black nigga.
I mean, that's what they needed.
Shit, Carol's husband had more character than that nigga. He was trash.
Bro, get out of here. That abuser.
Yeah, I'm saying, I didn't say I like him better. I just say he had more character.
No, he did not.
I bet Morgan didn't like her.
Who, Carol?
Like Carol? No, not until she blew up.
Oh, okay.
Glowed up, whatever they want to call it. But then, I don't know, she kind of reverted when she met the king.
Yeah. Kara was on some ninja shit, man. She had the Kakashi mask on and shit.
What about the goat Cuddy? Oh, my boy.
I don't remember what that is.
That was Tyrese in The Walking Dead.
Oh, okay.
He hasn't got to him yet. Not to season 3 and such. But
That's my Tyrese though.
That's pretty much it for this discussion. I think we exhausted all there is about season 1. Season 2, I feel like it's going to be very interesting just because I think that's the most controversial season, even more so than season 5 again, even though people regard that as one of the worst seasons of The Wire. I think season 2 again has a different feel from all the other seasons, and I'm interested to hear everybody's thoughts on that. But that's pretty much it. Appreciate everybody for showing up. 10 viewers. I think we had like a good 13 at some point. Shout out to the niggas that couldn't get in. Jordan, Payne, and 5 only.
Yeah, what is it?
Fuck
Blue
Payne.
Pheasant could have spoke up, but he didn't.
Yo, Payne, if you're listening, fuck you.
Hey, oh my God, wait.
Take that back.
What you doing?
Hold on, we doing that? Hey, fuck Z-Boy.
All right.
Get it.
And that is the end of the stream, guys. Peace out.
Tasting your soul, you're not in control, just giving you goals. Scared of your past, the future is close. The start and the end is a start. They both the same, can't tell them apart. Nigga, that's cuz.